Hi, Mrs. Smith. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come in and talk about Stephen's performance in freshman English language arts. Stephen has been excellent in class. I really enjoy having him. Shy at times, but I believe that is just due to not hearing every bit of information and having to ask his peers to kind of repeat what I said in class for instruction. But we can definitely work on that and get Stephen more engaged. Through talking with him, I understand that sports is something that he loves to do, provides him an opportunity to express himself, get active, constantly move, and work with other people. So we know that he does want to interact with his peers, which is a really good thing. Stephen also mentioned wanting to pursue a degree for computer science at his local university. It may seem that English language arts and computer science are worlds apart, and in a lot of ways they are, but through the strategies that I think we can implement in our class, Stephen's ability to take in information, remember assignments, and work with others will bolster his overall academic process. So a little bit about our class. The goals are centered around establishing necessary skills for lifelong learning of reading and writing. So what I want from my students is to be able to critically analyze and interpret text and then report back in an orderly fashion that's cohesive and straightforward of what they've read. Weekly obligations for students are every day I provide a small reading section for students to complete, and then the next day they'll come back and talk about what they've read in various formats, either a group discussion or we might have a debate if there's a controversial subject. And so the routine is through that constant reinforcement of reading, analyzing, that this becomes a routine for students to critically think about every piece of information they hear. Reading interpretation and subsequently writing skills improve exponentially when students are given the opportunity to work with each other and amongst themselves. It's amazing how much in the classroom students will bring up an idea, and I could have mentioned the same thing 10 minutes ago, but because another student said it and they relate to that student, it just clicks. So I try to create as many opportunities for students to actively engage with each other and learn from each other, and that's something I desperately want Stephen to be more a part of. So as far as Stephen's performance in the class, I've talked with him personally, and I understand his overall goal is to receive a B in the class, to remember the readings from the night before. We mentioned before that he struggles with that a little bit, and to maintain an active role in group discussions and activities. And we both talked, and I would love to see increased just general participation in class from him. So how this would affect his future goals: improving strategies of note-taking, remembering assignments. Once he gets into higher computer science and more complex and demanding courses, remembering assignments and complex algorithms should be second nature. And I think now in this class is a fantastic time to build these fundamentals. Also, improving participation and networking skills with other students. I think once we can nail down his ability to retain information himself, he should have no problem reaching out for help and working well with other students. So if we look at some of the most recent classwork that Stephen has completed, he does fairly well for every assignment. The only recurring issue seems to be that I totally believe that he's read all of the material that I've assigned. I believe it's just a matter of recalling the information, or sometimes he might have misread a chapter or read something that was due maybe a few days ago, or just didn't remember exactly what I said in class. Other than that, he's completed weekly journal logging, textbooks with worksheets to go along with them. The only other issue was his essay. His major essay comparing the 57 bus and All-American Boys. It seemed to kind of loosely reach the topic, but I would like to see going forward a more centered approach on what he's talking about. So quick accommodations, I think a daily planner would be great. I am an open door for Stephen to come and ask me for clarification for any type of assignments. And then while I still believe that timed writing is incredibly important, Stephen is more than welcome to take any writing assignment that we complete in class home if he feels that he's not completed it to his satisfaction, as long as he maintains the writing period in its entirety working towards that skill. So, understanding that Stephen lives with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, there are some research-based strategies that I would like to implement in the class that would really benefit him. These just include collaboration between you as the parent and me as the teacher. We constantly need to be on the same page, and I really appreciate you doing that by being here today, talking about Stephen's performance. You are obviously very engaged in his life and value his academic career. Furthermore, we have a school psychologist here, and the benefit from having Stephen build trust with a professional and vent his frustrations to someone that gets it and understands the neurological background of everything is going to give us great input on classroom changes. Furthermore, I believe that in my classroom, I can reduce visual clutter and anything that might be distracting to Stephen, and that would greatly benefit his performance. I want to say thank you again so much for coming, and I look forward to Stephen's future progress.